Hey guys, welcome to my channel, welcome to a new video. This channel is about twin flames, meaning one true love, meaning working on yourself, meaning spiritual awakening, meaning special friendship, special bond, special connection with that one person that is actually you, that feels like you, looks like you, not looks like you, but from the inside. You have the same blogs, you share the same passions, you just have that special bond. So this channel is all about that, right? And also clearing out myths and lies and stuff that I feel twin flames is not about, where it's getting abused, where it's getting taken advantage of, like as a concept. So this is what it's all about on this channel, and this is actually a video that I've been wanting to do, I think for the past 2 years or something. I was just like, at one point I'm going to talk about this, at one point. And maybe I overdid it a bit because I wanted to make all this research about it and put together different clips and different quotes and different little snippets maybe of film material. That's why I put it off, right? Because it was like involving a lot of work, and it was something completely different than I usually do on this channel, which is basically like turn on the camera and start talking. I think that's what I'm best at. I'm not a video editor, so that costs me a bit. So finally, the video is coming out. Since you're actually watching it and you're watching me talk about twin flames in a very special combination, in a very special frame, which is two celebrities, right? People we know. Like if you're American, you know them certainly. If you're European or Indian or Asian or whatever, from wherever you're tuning in, I would assume you know these people and you probably read their names in the title, but not necessarily, right? Why do we always assume that everyone knows all the American celebrities? And I wonder if an American person even knows a French actor or something, or a Hindi Bollywood star. Maybe not, right? So why would you always assume that it's just common knowledge that we all know these celebrities? But we're not going to get into that cultural imperialism. We're going to actually focus on twin flames. So you read it. I'm talking about Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. And I came upon this as my former American twin flame teachers I worked with mentioned that, right? It wasn't me who found it, who was like, oh my gosh, they're twin flames. They mentioned it, but as I looked into it, as I always do with info or with stuff that is told to me or that I learn about, I check it for myself, right? I go into it and I'm like, is there truth in there? Does it resonate with me or not? I don't just take it on and go, yeah, I run with it. I'm like, yeah, that's the truth. No. I do try it out. I do look into it. So that's what I did with this case too, right? And I do have a soft spot for former rap music, right? For hip hop culture in general, but also I say former rap music because don't ask me about nowadays songs. I wouldn't know so much. But like a few decades ago, that's what I listened to, and that's what was my kind of music. So Snoop Dogg, even though I don't smoke myself, I really don't. I know he does. I still have that special something for him where I do like look up to him as an artist in some way, and also as a personality. I think he has a strong personality, as we all know. And yes, I appreciate that in people. And I was never into Martha Stewart just because I don't like cooking. Maybe it's something I still discover in myself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so much fun to wash all these pans after you made a little meal that you like demolished in like 2 minutes, and now I get to clean all the dishes for the next 30 minutes. And even the cooking itself, it's just not, I'm not bad at it, honestly. I'm not a bad cook. Like, whoever I ever invited someone, which rarely happens, I always go to restaurants, could probably confirm that it's not bad what I cook. I like it, but I just don't like it. I don't like cooking. So why would I look into someone who promotes cooking, right? That to me is like the most boring stuff out there, let's be honest. I'm sure many of you don't agree, so leave me your comments when you go, I love cooking, it's so much fun, you know, it's so liberating, it's so freeing, it's like a meditation and creative. And yes, I like creative too. I like opening the fridge and like in 3 seconds putting together a good meal from everything in there. So that's how far my creativity in the kitchen goes. So yeah, anyways, I wasn't going to look into Martha Stewart. For me, she was like this representation of boredom, right? Of, oh, okay, you're going to tell us how to make a cake? Okay, then, yeah, sure. Have a nice life, you know, basically like that. But as I said, when I started looking into their relationship and into their connection, then I became a fan of it. And I think you're able to tell, right? Because I'm sort of making a big deal of this video that is finally coming out, because I've put it off for so long, because I had so high expectations on it. I really love their connection, and yes, to me they're twin flames, because everything I read about them or every quote I see of them, that it just fits the shoe like perfectly. So I just want to give you like, you can Google them, so go on and Google, you know, if you want to know more about it. I don't want to give you run it down a timeline or anything. All I know is that they met in 2008, which is a few years ago. Good math, Yvonne. Which is a little while ago. They actually met on her cooking show and they hit it off right away. I really do advise you, go Google it, go Google the first time they worked together, go look into their shows that were sequels out of this first meeting. They did more cooking stuff together, they did more I think roasting Justin Bieber at one point. There's just different appearances they did together, and then their relationship sort of evolved also on Twitter. I think it's Twitter, yeah. They tweet like each other's stuff, but not as frequently as probably other people. So it's worth mentioning these few little tweets that actually came out. You know, at one point she asked him for a deeper friendship. Like she basically said, I wish we were better friends, like we would hang out more. And he tweeted nice stuff too. So I'm gonna quote some of these things. And then I want to get into saying why they're the perfect example of twin flames. Okay, so should I do which one first? Now I forgot which one I wanted to, not forgot, but I'm unsure. Yes, let's do it in that order I just said. So yeah, if you know, I can make tons of videos about twin flame indicators, twin flame signs. How do you know what a twin flame is? How can you be sure? How can you recognize it? What is it, right? And there's a million people and me trying to explain that and trying to bring that across, but it all comes down to a feeling. It all comes down to a knowing and a feeling in your heart, which is why our language is so limited. You know, you're trying to explain, but you can't really explain. So it helps me, just like it helps me when every story I hear from every client, right? It's like, boom, wow, yes, this is it. Boom, wow, yes, that's exactly what I mean, what I've experienced. That's exactly what I hear from others. That's exactly what you can't describe. That's exactly it. It has to be real in order to be recognized as real, right? So this sort of thing, which is sort of a public twin flame relationship, it just helps to be able to look into it and see all the signs there, right? I guess it's like a physician that looks into, I don't even know, how, like a new bridge coming out, you know, and he's like looking into the stats and into the numbers of it, and he's like, yeah, of course that bridge is going to stay up because it's that special formula of numbers and of physical, you know, angles and blah 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 that makes a bridge be a bridge. Where everyone who doesn't know what a bridge is, it's just like, oh, it's really handy that I can cross a river now, thanks so much, right? They don't care really. So we're specialists in twin flames by being on a twin flame journey, right? We become specialists. So looking into something that people aren't really aware of, where to them it's just like, oh, they have such a special friendship, you know. You look into it and you're like, boom, it's all there. It's so beautiful. So yeah, so I'm gonna say these quotes. It's only 2 quotes I want to share that are so telling though. So it's Snoop Dogg at one point. When did he tweet this? I don't even know. That doesn't even really matter. It was at one point that he tweeted 2016, I think, when he tweeted, "I've never met anyone like Martha Stewart. When we come together, it's a natural combination of love, peace, and harmony." Oh my gosh, I have chills now. Okay, that's a sign. That's a sign. Oh my gosh, twin flame sign. No, but isn't it beautiful? Like, it's all there. It's all there. It doesn't need work. It doesn't need, I know I always talk about inner work, but inner work isn't making the relationship work. Inner work is clearing blocks to self-love. It's different. It's not, oh, there's a random person, let's make it work, you know? Let's make it work that they fall in love with each other. No, it's all there from the beginning, before they even meet. And then they meet, and then it's just like, boom. It's just like easy. So I want to repeat it. I've never met anyone like Martha Stewart. When we come together, and it doesn't mean when our union is here, right? It means when we are in one room or working together or working on a project together. When we come together, it's a natural combination of love, peace, and harmony. So natural, it's a natural combination. It's not something you can force. It's not something you can make up. It's not something you thrive for or you invent or you work at. It's a natural combination of love, that's the main ingredient, peace, that indicates that it's healed, because if it's not healed, peace is often missing. Love isn't missing, love is always there, but the peace can be disturbed by blocks, by wounds, by all that. So love, peace, and harmony, right? Which, I mean, it sounds, I still have chills, or again, it just sounds beautiful, right? That's what we all wish we had. Even someone who is with a non-twin flame and working through whatever's coming up, right? If they could choose, that's exactly what they would want and wish to have, which is a natural combination of love, peace, and harmony. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, that's one quote from him. And then, as I said, at one point, like she kept on inviting him on his shows, and she praises his cooking style and his creativity. But I'm going to go into that in the second part when I talk about why they're typical twin flames, sort of. What else did I want to say? I don't have like a quote from her. Like, I think she's a little bit more discreet, you know, in her love, like maybe also due to age. I'm going to talk about this in a second, but she's a little bit more holding back a little bit more. She just says how much she enjoys him and how highly she thinks of him and how he surprises her every time and how they have this special connection, you know, that people notice. Oh yeah, at one point, sorry, I'm gonna look for that real quick because that's what she said, what is also very typical. Oh yeah, here it is. So she says about a show they did, 400,000 people around the world watched as we bantered and decorated. It was great fun and the cookies were amazing. So to me, the key word here is the bantered, right? Which is, I think I made the video in German. It's not the decorated, it's not that, but it's the between the line stuff of like, oh my gosh, these two are so good together. They work so well together. You know, they're so much fun to watch and people notice there's love. They can't point their finger on it. They can't go, oh my gosh, they're the perfect couple. They're actually not on paper, but there's something that intrigues you, right? So she addresses that in this comment, which is like, hey, we banter, like we're just being our playful, childish, in a positive way selves, and it works so well together. We're having the best time ever, and people enjoy that because everyone wants that. That's what everyone wants. It's like someone driving a Lamborghini down the streets and all the people are like, oh my gosh, except that I'm not materialistic, so I'm like, oh my gosh, you take care of that car. Yeah, I like cars, but I don't need to own one, like that. So it's that, right? People notice and they're like, wow. So that's a quote from her. And then another quote from him is, where is it? Oh, yes. Oh, wow. That's so telling. I mean, you can't make that up. So he says, I love Martha. Like, I love her for real. Like, when I see her away from me, I get jealous. When I see her, I see other people with her. Oh, sorry, that was bad. Okay, again, I love Martha. Like, I love her for real. Like, when I see her away from me, I get jealous when I see other people with her. That wasn't much better. But then I have to understand she's Martha Stewart, so she has to give the world what they want. So the jealousy, don't like comment on, oh, true love, let's free, and it's never jealous. And yes, I get the point, of course not. But the point is just that it's not just she's a good friend. It's not like, oh yes, I love her, like in English, right? I love my friend, I love my cat, I love my dog, I love my neighbor. It's not that kind of love. He even specifies it by going, I love her, like I love her for real. They're in love with each other, and you can tell watching them. So this is beautiful. I love it. I love this story. I hope they have much more to share with us. So I wanted to get into, why are they like typical twin flames? Well, they have basically every difference there can be. Guys, for all those who are like, oh my gosh, he's so much older. Oh my gosh, he's not living in the same country. Oh my gosh, he's a different culture, blah, 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 right? For all you guys, look at it. She's older, not by 3 years, not by 13 years. She's older, 30 years older than him. She's 80 now and he's 50. Do the math. Even I can do the math on that. It's 30 years. The woman older than the man, this is highly not normal in our society. This is frowned upon. This is, oh my gosh, like he's with a grandma. And then there's so much more, right? So much more differences. So she's much older, as we said. She looks stunning. I have to say, I wish when I'm 80, I wish to look exactly like her. No matter what she did, I want to look like that. She looks amazing. But that's on the side. That's superficial, right? What else? Of course, color, right? She's a white woman, he's a black man, right? Unfortunately, we still have to talk about these things nowadays. But in the US, where from my point of view, they're behind in that interracial stuff, right? It's a mess, right? Europe isn't the same. And this is coming from a white woman, I know, so I have no clue what I'm talking about, white privilege and all that, but I still have a right to my opinion. So I can tell there's a difference. I've lived in both countries and continents, and yes, there's a difference, a huge difference. And I'm not going to get into it. So there's that difference. And what else? Like, come on, cooking queen, as I said, Mrs. Boring, right? You tell us how to make cookies. Wow, brave, right? And he's basically the weed smoking rebel, right? That does rap music, has been doing rap music for I don't even know how many decades. So anyone, like, is that a perfect match? No, it's not. Not on paper, not at all. No one would ever put these two together. Yet you put them into a kitchen in front of a mashed potato machine, and it's a miracle. It's wonders. I have chills again. I never have chills when I do videos, by the way. I do have in sessions, but not in videos. I think it's because I'm so excited about this subject, about this couple. So on paper, no, it doesn't fit at all, but you can feel the love. It's all there. So culturally, age-wise, race-wise, if you're still allowed to say that. What else? He's married, has children. I don't even know about her, to be honest. But it defies everything. Love defies everything. It's the connection is stronger than everything. These two, I really wish that he separates from his wife and that they get to live together. I really do wish that, because that's what they truly want in their hearts. I know that. I know it. I see it from everything I read. And nothing against that wife at all, right? But if something is matching in this perfect, beautiful, divine way, and they do, as twin flames do match, yes, they do, they should be allowed to be together. And yes, they need to take that decision, right? It's on them. But I'm just saying my opinion here. So yes, this is perfect twin flame example of it just clicks, it just works, it's huge, the love is huge, people feel it. People feel you two belong together in some strange way that they can't explain to themselves. And yes, it defies all these judgments, all these superficial little characteristics of age and of culture and of social background and probably geographical background too, and of what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do, who you're supposed to be with, who you're supposed to marry. Like all this is just like down the drain of like, hey, we click, we love each other, this is it, right? So to me, yes, they're twin flames, most definitely. They must know in their hearts, they must know it, I'm sure they do. And they must feel like, even if they don't know about twin flames, they just like feel, hey, we have a soul connection. Okay, but it's more than that. It's physical. And check out the images you find from them. Check out, yes, photos. You know, they basically melt with each other. Like the love is palpable. It's there physically. It's not just some platonic, oh, he's so nice. It's all over, you know? So yeah, I share my passion about this couple. Thanks for sharing it with me. I'm glad I made this video finally, and I hope you enjoy it. Comment below whatever you wish to do. Maybe I also avoided it because I don't want to do clickbait stuff, and I'm always hesitant to use other people's names. You know, I'm like, who am I to mention their name? I don't have their okay, and so I'm very private myself. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just against using someone for my own purpose. I don't want to do that. But I mention them for you to check them out yourself, and for you to then hopefully be inspired and have trust and faith that this can't be made up. This is real. Okay. I said it. Thanks for listening. Bye guys. Love you all. Bye.